culture, especially on college campuses these days, often tell us that love and truth can't go together. That we can't speak truth because it could offend, it could trigger, and it can hurt. That's our calling in the pro-life movement, to speak truth. 20 years ago this month, I walked into a pregnancy resource center eager for my first job, my summer internship. I remember distinctly that overwhelming first day and leaving the pregnancy center with the simple question of why. Why weren't more people angry about the violence that was being committed inside Planned Parenthoods and other abortion facilities every single day? Why weren't we talking about this more? Why didn't this come up every Sunday at my church? Like most people learning what abortion is, I was angry, very angry. Learning that this needle, when inserted into an abdomen of a pregnant woman filled with the poison digoxin, will cause a cardiac arrest, will stop the beating heart of a child who can actually survive outside of the womb. To learn that this Sofer clamp that's used in second trimester abortions, that has sharp teeth that grasps and doesn't let go, that this Sofer clamp is used to pull the limbs off children. I was angry. But I soon learned that this anger that I had could be transformed. And it did. It transformed into something deeper, into an action that allowed me to actually do something to end the injustice, to end the discrimination, to end the lies of abortion. And that action was love. For it was at that pregnancy center, that very first summer, that I got to meet some of the victims of the abortion industry. While I didn't get to meet their children who had been slaughtered, I got to meet their moms. I got to meet their dads and their brothers and their sisters, all victims of abortion. And I got to hear their stories of desperation, of abuse, of loneliness. It was after that summer that I fully set out on this mission. My trajectory in life had been changed, forever changed. And I knew there was no going back for me, that no matter where I ended up, I had learned the truth, the gruesome truth about abortion, and I had to spread it. Now, 20 years later, my mission continues as we get closer and closer to the reversal of Roe v. Wade and Doe versus Bolton, the two Supreme Court decisions in 1973, which legalized abortion on demand in all 9 months. Now my mission grows bigger. For now, we look forward towards a post-Roe America, where the battle for the legalization of abortion goes to every single state capital, where we begin to have abortion-free states and regions, where we will have to ensure that every mother and family in crisis knows about and has access to the support system they need to choose life over destruction, to choose life over fear. We face in America where mothers and fathers of the 61 million who have been lost since 1973 will no longer be able to hide their feelings of guilt or remorse and pain. An America where those who once committed the heinous act of abortion, the former villains in our story, will be no longer. And they will seek healing, and they will seek love, sometimes right alongside with some of their past victims. Are we ready to love them just as much Are our churches and our families finally ready to deal with the abortion decisions in our past? To help those who are hurting? Help them start on that path of healing and to know and to feel God's redeeming grace? Are we ready to radically and rapidly pivot and transform our movement to ensure that no woman ever again falls victim to the lies that abortion promises? That she knows that we are much more than just courageous truth tellers, but we are tireless lovers. That no matter the battle before us, we always choose love as our weapon. That with this love we have for her, her child, her family, that we will stand beside her, telling her the truth she desperately needs to hear, but walking with her, seeking justice right with her. And with this love that we have, because it was He who first loved us, we cannot become angry, despondent, or bitter. For even though we know we have momentum on our side and that truth is winning, the victory and the justice we seek for the victims of abortion, it's not going to come easy. It's not going to come without sacrifice and toil, because they know the truth is so powerful. For those who advocate for the violence of abortion, many who themselves were once victims of the abortion industry, they are now more determined than ever to stop us. They are scared, fearful, for the day that we know is coming is near. That's why on campuses across the nation, you'll see them attempt to intimidate and silence our truth tellers. That's why in every political election possible, they seek influence and power by injecting millions of campaign donations. That's why in the midst of the current COVID-19 crisis, abortion facilities and their allies have been pushing harder than ever before to legalize dangerous chemical mail-order abortions. My mission in the pro-life movement, I know my mission in the pro-life movement is so much bigger than myself. This is why I need you to join me. Why I need you to join in this mission of truth and love. But you cannot be like them. You cannot live in fear. You cannot have fear holding you back. You actually have to conquer this fear. For whatever has stopped you, whatever held you back from joining us in this mission, whether it's fear of losing your job, fear of threats of physical violence, or just plain fear of controversy and condemnation, you have to conquer it. Because fear is not of our Creator. You have to conquer it because we must stop the slaughter of another 61 million of our children, of another 61 million preborn baby girls and preborn baby boys. You have to conquer this fear because we know change only happens at the point of conflict. That you have to press forward, speaking truth, and yes, creating some tension. For it was Martin Luther King Jr. who said in his letter from Birmingham jail, "I have almost reached the regrettable conclusion that the Negro's great stumbling block in his stride towards freedom is not the white citizen's counselor or the Ku Klux Klaner, but the white moderate, who is more devoted to order than to justice, who prefers a negative peace, which is the absence of tension, to a positive peace, which is the presence of justice." So make today the day you join me in the pro-life movement. Make today the day you decide to finally see justice prevail in our nation for all those victims of abortion, past and future. I've known for 20 years now that abolishing abortion has been the calling the Lord has placed on my life. I've known since that very first summer at that pregnancy center, meeting the women coming to us, broken, scared, and alone, who had been betrayed by the predatory industry, who lied to her and told her that abortion would be nothing, that it would be best, that she wasn't strong enough to choose both, that it was just a simple procedure that would erase all the problems wrong and then return her back to her abuser. Friends, I don't sacrifice to say I've put up a good fight or I've led a resistance. I push and I push and I push to be harder. Friends, I don't sacrifice to fight in this movement, in this battle for life, to simply say I put up a good fight, or in Star Wars terms, led a resistance. I push and push and push to work harder and better and faster because I'm determined to win. Are you determined? Are you determined to create this win? This win which is the presence of justice, where truth and love is spread? If you're the weary warrior, or if you're the woman who's sitting at home right now, hurting from a past abortion decision, looking for a way, an opportunity to warn others about the falsehoods abortion promises, if you're a student attending your first online worldview conference, if you're a battle-ready, battle-tested person looking for a place to engage and save the most lives, I pray that this conference and these modules, you will use them. You will use them to conquer the fear that's been holding you back, from speaking truth, from showing love. Use this moment right now to commit to doing something, to engaging in this fight, to spare the victims. Pick something small. Pick something you know you can achieve. Build your momentum from there. Use this moment today. Use this moment today to start living your life for your calling, for someone else, for millions of someone else's. I promise you, you won't regret it.